What would your life look like if you could trick your brain to crave doing the hard work needed to hit your goals without procrastinating or giving up completely? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how anybody can start to enjoy doing the hard work that they know they need to do, how you're already disciplined but you don't know how to unlock it, and how you can make doing hard things as easy as scrolling TikTok. But first, I need to show you why tricking your brain into craving hard work is so important for both being consistent and achieving your goals by explaining the concept of value creation. You see, goals are just a result, they're an output, and results are achieved when value is created. Now, that value can come in many different forms, depending on your goal. If you want to get jacked, that value is tearing down muscle fibers. If you want to make money, that value is solving problems for other people. And if you think about it, what value means? Something valuable is something that is both desirable and hard to get. So a lot of people want it, but not many people have it. Therefore, logically, the actions you need to do to create the value must be hard, because most people don't do them, hence why most people don't get results or achieve their goals. So if you want to achieve your goals, you need to learn how to do hard things and produce value. But it's not enough to do hard things once. Any fool can do something once. You could accidentally stumble into the gym and lift a weight, but you can't trick the universe that easily. To achieve your goals, you need to earn them by creating value and doing hard things consistently for a long ass period of time. This is why most people fail. They don't want to do hard things, and so they don't do them. And that is why you need to learn how to love doing hard work, because goals require value to be created every single day for a long period of time, and value requires hard work that right now you don't want to do. This is the secret to consistency and achieving your damn goals. You learn how to make your brain crave doing hard work, how to make your brain enjoy hard things. But how do you make doing hard things so easy that it's impossible you don't do them? Well, imagine yourself as a sculptor standing before a massive block of marble. It's a block that's not perfect. It's got chips and dents from life that affect its starting position. You look at this block of marble and you think to yourself, I'm only an amateur sculptor, I can do nothing with this, and so you give it away to the next person who wants it. You turned this block of marble away because you believed you were not a good enough sculptor to do anything with it, when in reality you could have carved that block of marble into anything you wanted it to be. You just didn't believe that you had what it took. You see, you cannot act outside of your identity. You cannot take actions that you don't believe you can take. If you don't believe you can turn a block of marble into a masterpiece, it doesn't matter how many years of experience you have, you won't be able to do it. And so, the same rule applies to everything, to building businesses, to making money, to getting jacked. If you don't see yourself as someone who is capable of doing it, then you won't do it. So if you want to be able to do the hard work that you know you need to do, then you need to see yourself as someone who finds doing hard work easy. So how do you do that? How can you become someone who finds hard work easier than scrolling bloody TikTok? Well, any good sculptor knows that you don't take a block of marble and turn it into the statue of David in a week. It takes years of repeated chiseling away at the marble. With each day, you have the opportunity with a chisel and a hammer in hand to chip away at the marble of your identity and over time form a masterpiece. But you first need to know what you want the end result to be. You cannot create a masterpiece without a vision. Each step of the process must be deliberate and intentional. The removal of excess, the fine-tuning of details, transforming rough edges into defining features. You have to know how much to chisel and where to chisel. And you have to make a point of doing this work every single day and noting down the work that you did, what you chiseled, where you hammered. And eventually, one day you will wake up and you'll have a masterpiece in front of you. If you want to do the hard work, you must see yourself as someone who finds hard work easy, and that requires you to be willing to chisel away and do the work every single day. Because identities are built through repeated experience, and for you to rewire your identity, you must repeatedly create experiences that build you into the person you need to become. You need to know what masterpiece you're creating. You cannot build a new identity if you do not know what the identity is, because you need to know the habits and the beliefs someone with that identity would have, so that you can focus on building those habits and beliefs each day, creating a repeated experience. You also need to note down the work that you did. Each time you do something that the person you need to become would do, you write it down. You need to stack evidence that you are this person. Whether you work out, whether you get up early, you do the work, you don't procrastinate, or you do anything at all that the person you need to become would do, you write it down and you stack evidence. Every new experience, hard task tackled or habit reinforced is a strike off the hammer on the marble of your identity, and over time and persistence, the figure emerging from the stone is a statue of mastery, a testament to the identity sculpted by your effort. If you want to make hard work easy, you have to sculpt your identity into someone who finds hard work easy, and that is how you do it. And look, I get it. You're probably thinking,
but Ross, I've never been able to do hard things. I'm not disciplined enough.
Well, I'm going to show you right now how you're already disciplined, but you just don't know it, and how you can build that discipline into something that changes your life. Back when I was in university and before I started building anything online, I thought I was the most lazy and undisciplined person on the planet. I struggled to do any of the work that I knew I had to do. I constantly missed deadlines, and although I hadn't started building anything online, I had planned to, but I just never got round to starting it. And so I had this crippling anxiety around me having to find a normal job after university, live paycheck to paycheck, and just be a massive fucking failure in life. Instead of doing the work, I would spend most of my day productively procrastinating and watching the likes of YouTube. When one day I came across a video about a book. I can't remember what was said in the video, but I do remember how it made me feel. It gave me hope that I can make a change. I ordered the book, and when it came, I devoured it. 4 years later, and here I am. I run a multi-six-figure business. I've won a British weightlifting championship, and I crave hard work. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ross, what was the book? Tell us. That book was Psycho-Cybernetics, and although the book isn't strictly about discipline, it changed how I viewed hard work forever. You see, imagine person A. This person goes out every Saturday night and gets drunk. This person never skips on watching Netflix every night or scrolling their phone every morning. And this person never misses brushing their teeth. Heck, that is one disciplined person. They never miss anything. Sure, the things they're doing are the wrong things, but man, are they disciplined in doing them. When I read Psycho-Cybernetics all those years ago, I realized that to some extent, everybody, you and me, are like this. Everybody is disciplined and nobody is lazy. Really, the truth of the matter is, you're just disciplined in the wrong things, and because you're disciplined in the wrong things, you think you don't have discipline and you think you're lazy. When this clicked in my head, everything changed. I realized I didn't have to build discipline, I just had to become disciplined in the right things. But how do you do that? How can you change your vehicle of discipline? Well, here's the exact 4-step process that I followed that changed my life. And to help with this, I want you to imagine that you're a blacksmith. I know, bit weird, but stick with it, you'll understand why. Step 1, choose the metal. The first step for a blacksmith is choosing the right metal. If you want to make a sword, you have to know what to make it out of so that it can serve its purpose effectively. Just like if you want to be disciplined in the right things, you have to figure out what the right things are. The easiest way to do that is to do 2 things. 1, look at what the habits the person you need to become from earlier in the video has. And 2, figure out what the main tasks you have to do every single day to move towards your goals are. Step 2, heat, hammer, cool, and refine. Once a blacksmith has the materials, they figure out the process the metal needs to go through. Heating, hammering, cooling, and refining. Each step is meticulously planned and scheduled to ensure that it gets done and that it gets done in order of priority. If you want to be disciplined, you need to make sure you find time to do the hard work that you need to do, and the best way to do that is to schedule the things you need to do into your day. Step 3, overcome resistance. When a blacksmith begins hammering their metal, they encounter resistance. The metal resists the shape it's being forced into, and so the blacksmith must overcome it, just as you must overcome the resistance to the hard work. You see, your old identity is constantly clashing against the emergence of your new disciplined self, because for your new identity to be built, your old identity must die. And so it creates resistance to the work in an effort to stop you from doing it, and therefore stopping your new identity from being formed. If you want to be disciplined, you need to understand that the things you're doing aren't that hard. Okay? It's not that hard to type in a bloody keyboard. It's not that hard to lift a few weights. It's not that hard to send a few emails. It's not like you're working in the damn mines, okay? It's really not that hard. And so realize resistance is just your old self resisting change, and that it's a sign of what you need to do, not what to avoid. Step 4, refine the sword. Just as a blacksmith gradually increases the complexity and the detail of the sword, starting with a rough outline and over time making it into a piece of art, so must you gradually increase your challenges. Look, you can't expect to be David Goggins in the morning. That's not going to work. You're not going to wake up and run 100 miles at 4 AM, okay? You need to start small. How small depends on where you are in life, but start with something that you can handle, whether it's just getting up 10 minutes earlier or hitting the gym or doing 1 hour of work without your damn phone. Different people will have different starting points here, but the main thing is that you start small with something that is just outside your grasps and increase the difficulty over time. Each week, make the things you do harder and do more hard things. It's that simple. Trust me, I did this 4 years ago. It feels like you're not doing much at the start, but in 6 months, you will look back and your entire life will have changed thanks to small, consistent and compounding efforts. And look, you could stop there. You could start to build your discipline and do the hard work, but sooner or later you'll have a bad day and your discipline will fail you. It's only natural. We're not perfect. But do you know what won't fail you? A love for the hard work so that you actually want to do it. So how can you start to love doing the hard work and make avoiding it impossible? Well, first, you need to understand something that almost nobody realizes, but once they do, it changes everything for them. Let me explain this using an example. You think you want to earn $1 million, but you don't. What you really want is to fix the part of you that craves validation because you never got any as a child. Okay, maybe too deep, but you think you want $1 million, but what you really want is freedom. You want the ability to do what you want when you want. And so when people try to enjoy hard work, they try to find ways to be happy when they're working because they think enjoying something means happiness, and if you're happy, you'll enjoy doing the work and it'll be all sunshine and rainbows, right? But here's the thing. Happiness doesn't work that way. Happiness is an emotion, and emotions are always changing and largely they're uncontrollable. You see, the thing that you think you want isn't actually what you want. You don't want $1 million, you want freedom. You don't want happiness because happiness is uncontrollable. What you want is something that you think is happiness but is actually more stable and long-term and that leads to you enjoying the work. And that thing can only be found in the work itself. Now, let me explain. Nietzsche said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." And so the things you're trying to be disciplined in doing don't have a why behind them. If there's no reason for you to do them, you won't do them and you definitely won't enjoy doing them. For you to enjoy doing the work needs to push you towards something that you want, like a goal. But it can't just be any goal because remember, the thing we think we want is normally not what we actually want. And so you need to consciously take the time to figure out a meaningful goal. A goal that you actually want to achieve. So what is a meaningful goal? Well, a meaningful goal does one or more of 3 things. 1, it pushes you toward your dream life. 2, it helps you become all you can be. And 3, it helps you make an impact on the world. And so if your goal does any of those 3 things, that goal will be meaningful. If that goal is meaningful, the hard work that you need to do to achieve that goal will also be meaningful since it adds up to something that is meaningful. If the work is meaningful, when you do it, it will make you feel satisfied, it will make you feel proud, and most importantly, it will make you feel fulfilled. And that is what you actually want. If you want to do hard things, you don't want to aim for an uncontrollable and fleeting emotion like happiness, but instead you want to aim for something that makes you feel fulfilled. Because fulfillment is in your control. It is found in doing hard things that add up to meaningful goals, and in that fulfillment you will feel useful and you will feel good, and in turn you will enjoy the work. If you want to enjoy doing hard work and make it impossible to avoid because you actually want to do it, you need the work to be meaningful. And you do that by ensuring the work adds up to a meaningful goal. So now you know how to force your brain to crave doing hard things. But here's the problem. If you're a busy person with a life, you're never going to find the time to do the hard work that you know you need to do unless you build a simple 5-minute habit that I go over in this video right here.